King here. Hope you're all keeping safe and well in these times of lockdown and we're not too bored. That said, I've got some recipes that I would like to share with you. Really simple stuff, things that you should have in your store cupboards. And this is a particular favourite in this house, and it's a simple donut with chocolate sauce. And the reason it's so simple is because we're just using these few ingredients here. We've got self-raising flour, we've got Greek style yoghurt, some vanilla extract, chocolate spread, and some sugar, and obviously I've got a pan of oil over here for frying. Right, now the quantities, dead simple. We've got 200 grams of self-raising flour here and 100 grams of the yoghurt. So it's literally 2 parts flour to 1 part yoghurt. Okay, and all we need to do is mix the two together. So what we're looking for is a thick batter. So, you know, almost like a cake batter. Now the reason I've got the milk out is because sometimes, you know, different flours react in different ways. You know, they take on more liquid than others. So as you can see, this, although it's making a mess all over the worktop, it's going to need some flour, some milk mixing into it, just to make like a gloop. Now the reason, I mean, donuts traditionally are made with bread, you know, with a yeasted dough, but we're going to rely on the baking powder in the self-raising flour to cause the donuts to puff up. If you haven't got self-raising flour at home due to the shortages, you can use plain flour, but you'll have to mix some baking powder in with it. Obviously you can find the quantity required. You can find all of this online. Now if you come and have a look here, you can see that it's starting to come together like a thick, almost like putty, which is what we're looking for. We want a nice thick putty, something that will hold your windows in place, to be honest with you. But that is probably there or thereabouts. I'm just giving it a little splash just to loosen it a little bit, and I'm going to mix in some of this vanilla extract. If you haven't got vanilla extract, you don't need to put it in. But I like it, it just makes it taste a little bit more like a traditional donut. Always keep your hands nice and clean. I've lost my tea towel, bear with me a moment. Right, back again. Right. So, as I say, these are great for a breakfast treat, particularly at weekends, or you can have them as a dessert, or simply just because. There, I think that's just about right. Now, over here on the stove, I have some oil. Hopefully it's getting up to about 170, 180 degrees, which is perfect for frying. The way to tell whether it's hot enough is to just drop a little bit of the mix in and see if it starts to fry. As you can see, that probably hasn't quite got hot enough. The bubbles are just starting to lift, but I wanted it to happen almost immediately. So whilst I'm waiting for that, a real cheat of a chocolate sauce. Nutella, you know, or hazelnut chocolate spread. Into a little dish like that. 15-20 seconds in the microwave, and that will loosen enough so that you can dip your donuts in. Delicious. Leave that there for now, because something is happening over here. As you can see, the little tester has come to the surface, so that means that the oil is ready to go. Right. Get my 2 spoons. I don't want to be too chefy. So, all you need is little spoonfuls of the dough and just drop them in. I mean, they aren't pretty. If you wanted to make them more even, you could put the batter into a piping bag, and you can just squeeze it over the oil and snip the batter off into the oil if you want it to look neater. But this is just a nice easy way of doing it. Bear in mind, if this is for breakfast, you haven't long got out of bed, so you don't really want to be going to too much effort, do you? But can you see how they're starting to puff up? That's the baking powder in the flour that's causing them to cook, and hopefully it's going to start to rise. I mean, that one's floating already. You can see as they cook, they're lifting off the bottom and coming to the surface. Don't get me wrong, this is by no means a healthy option. I mean, you can serve it with some berry fruits, you know, strawberries, raspberries, cut them into little dice and dust with icing sugar. That makes it very nice. And here they are. Look, they're floating on the surface. All we've got to do is get some more colour on them. We're just looking for a golden brown. Can you see where it's just a bit golden on here? We want it to be on both sides, golden brown. Delicious. And like I say, you know, hopefully this film will be met with met favourably. You know, I can give you any top tips. I'm sure I can, you know, via the school website. If there's anything you want to know how to use up, how to stretch things further, because these are difficult times, and you know, we're trying not to go to the supermarket so often. So you know, use up the ingredients you have to hand. But as you can see, look, these are getting light and fluffy now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chocolate sauce into the microwave, as I say, just literally 15 seconds, and it just loosens it so that it becomes easier to dip your donuts in. And this oil, as I said, there's a lot of oil in here, but it's not going to be wasted because it's not making any mess. There's not bits falling off the donuts to dirty the oil. So just let the oil cool down and put it back into your bottle, either with a funnel or very very gingerly over the stove. Now, can you see how this has turned liquid? A perfect dipping sauce with absolutely no effort. Right, I think these are just about ready. So can you see they've got a nice golden colour on them. So we should take them out of the oil now. And as I say, on a weekend, children love them. So, I mean, that's probably not even half the batter has made these 6. Excuse the mess. Now, sugar, just roll them in sugar. Oh, they smell great. If only you could smell these. Just roll them in sugar. I mean, you can have cinnamon in the sugar. Make a nice cinnamon sugar. If you haven't got cinnamon, don't worry. I haven't bothered. But yeah, that mix, that's made 7 here. And there's probably at least enough mix for another 10 or so. And as I say, nothing to it really. And how long was that? From start to finish? 5-6 minutes? Let me just give my hands a quick rinse. As I say, let me know what you think. Please do try it at home. And if you don't think it's a total waste, then let's try some others. I mean, look at that. Whoa! Can you see? Can you see the? Oh, now I'm going to try, and I'll let you. I'll let you know. It's hot. That is good. That is good. So, as I say, I'll see you later. Bon appetit.